Art is thriving in the Cedar Valley. It's everywhere. But if you don't know where to look, you could miss it. This is your local arts perspective. This is the Arts Overlook. Hello, and welcome to the latest edition of the Arts Overlook. This episode will tell you all about a wonderful creative outlet for the community and a play that will channel your inner superhero. Then we'll top it all off by finishing our public art tour of Cedar Falls. A great show is in store, and what the heck, let's do this thing. It's a mathematical truth that combining two negatives will never equal anything positive. But thankfully, math doesn't apply to art. Nearly 1 year ago, a closed-down bookstore joined forces with an outlet-deprived art scene to create something beneficial for the community. It was deemed The Space and has become somewhat of a hidden gem in Cedar Falls. The Space is about as nondescript of a name to give, well, a space. But in the case of The Space in Cedar Falls, an extremely general name is appropriate for a place that hosts a massively wide variety of creative events.
The Space is a nonprofit organization for art, music, or whatever creative event someone wants to host. And we try to leave it pretty open to anything that's not going to damage the infrastructure, basically. Anything from sculpture to printmaking. There's been a performance art show. There's been acoustic music. There's been people with harps. There's been people rap battling. There's been stand-up comedy. There's been potlucks. Pretty much a little bit of everything.
The Space opened its door in May 2011 after a handful of UNI students and Cedar Falls natives collaborated to make their vision a reality. Since then, the Space has created new opportunities for people in the area to see things that are somewhat rare to a small Midwest city, or forms of art that had no prior outlet for exposure.
There's a lot of bands that come through here that never would have played Cedar Falls, and just the fact I get several emails a week about people wanting to play here from all over the country, and just the fact how do you hear about this? It's really cool that they still want to come and play here even though it's small.
The outstanding show that sealed the deal as this being a really weird, unique place was this band called King Mary. It was a lady singing very high and playing a harp, and then a guy with a very, very low voice playing guitar. And they just sat on that rug right there, and everybody was dead silent for 25 minutes. Never would have come across that. I never would have been looking for shows on the internet or whatever and been oh, harp band, gonna go check that out. But it was here and I was worth my while.
Since its opening, the Space has had a steady flow of art shows gracing its walls. When I visited, Chance Greaves, a recent graduate of the UNI art program, an employee of the Space, was showing some of his work.
A lot of my work focuses on specific images or objects that I find peculiar for one reason or another. Well, this is just something I painted directly on the wall, and that's one thing I like about the Space is we're pretty open to whatever sort of plan you have, as long as we can this is something we'll be able to paint over. So, but yeah, this is just an abstract painting I did on the wall. There's various words. It's just kind of a stream of consciousness writing, and I respond a lot to color. This is called Ponytail, and it's horsehair and some scrunchies. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I just thought I enjoy puns. There you go. This one here is based on my favorite graphic from when I donate plasma. So you get asked a couple questions, and one of them is, are you feeling sick today? And this is the graphic that used to come up. It no longer comes up. And then over here, this is a lithograph I did. Just kind of an abstract drawing. And this is another collage I did with a bunch of Xeroxes.
But you don't have to have ties to the Space, the Cedar Falls art and music scene, or really any credentials to utilize the organization's services. All you need is a creative itch and a desire to showcase your work.
I started going to shows 5 or 6 years ago, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done. And it was just I didn't understand the music, I didn't know anyone, they were frightening, And I never liked that. I thought that a community like that should be more open and accepting. I wanted something different, and I think a lot of people did, because since the Space started, I've seen many bands form because now they have a place to play and they feel like comfortable playing here. Many people putting up art shows that they wouldn't normally do. People rapping or like saying poetry. Like so many people have like come out of their shell to like do something creative or productive or just to do it. And that's why we're here. We just want people to feel comfortable in what they're doing.
The space is located near the corner of 2nd and Main in Cedar Falls. For more information, visit their website at facebook.com/thespace109. Imagine a cape that possessed the power to turn any average Joe into a superhero. Well, such a thing apparently exists, and it's currently on display at the Lampost Theatre Company in Cedar Falls. Matt Chapman tells us more.
Something very strange is going on at the Lampost Theatre for the next few weeks. The musical comedy Superheroes hit the stage last week and continues its run through May. This production has something going for it that most productions don't. It's completely original. A concept devised by Jeff and Marcia Hansen months ago that started one late night where Jeff woke up with an idea. That idea set the stage for one of the most unique productions ever by Lampost Theatre.
It's kind of a big scale adventure. It's got a little bit of comedy, it's got a little bit of romance, it's got adventure, it's got twists and a little bit of meaning, so a little bit of something for everybody.
The plot line is based on 6 people who meet at a playground who are very different from one another. However, they have one thing in common that they will later find out. Each has a different backstory, but it all revolves around the help of a purple superhero cape. These 6 characters include a prominent leader in the community, a homemaker, an awkward girl, a shy geek, a teacher, and a coach. Each has a different story of how the cape helped them achieve their dreams and why they need it in the near future. The director of Superheroes, Jeff Hansen, feels that one of the most enjoyable things about the musical is seeing his creation take form from scratch.
It's been great to watch it come alive. Months ago we were coming up with ideas and writing down the script and writing these songs, but then to actually watch it become flesh and blood and find ways to take the vision in my head and actually bring it to life.
One of the production standouts would be the awkward girl, Allie, played by Jenny Brown. Brown does an excellent job portraying a girl who doesn't seem to fit in with the standard teenager. Allie uses the cape to become a superhero on the internet through the means of social media such as Facebook, where she can keep her identity hidden. Having this hidden identity online helps reveal a whole new world to Allie. It gives her social interaction and the freedom to be someone that matters. A throwback to the elementary days is something that Brown really enjoys about Superheroes. You'll see her doing a musical number through the use of a teeter-totter. However, that isn't the only piece of playground equipment in the musical. A jungle gym is a highly utilized prop throughout the story. After the age of 12, it seems that most people have moved past the use of playground equipment, but Brown gets to relive her childhood in this way.
And it's so funny to return to it now, years later, and play on a teeter-totter and re-experience childhood in that way. The same with the jungle gym. It's so unique to have 5 people up there dancing on a jungle gym, something I never did on a playground, but it's fun to watch.
The uniqueness continues to stand out for Superheroes. Even how the audience is seated is much different than most musicals you'll see around the area.
And that's something we try to do at Lampost, is give people something they can't see anywhere else. Also, we tend to take a different approach to the style of these musicals. As you can see, nobody's more than 10 or 15 feet from the action, and there's a lot of physical comedy, there's a lot of action and interpretive theater, and different kinds of styles all mixed together, so that we have things that create a whole new kind of experience for an audience. So we don't think theater should be just something you come and passively sit back and watch, but it should engage you, it should excite you, and speak to your life too.
The Lampost Theater's Superheroes is going on now up until Saturday, May 5th. Tickets are being sold for $16 at Lampost Theater, as well as at their website at lampost.com. So if you're interested in finding out the mystery behind the purple superhero cape, get your ticket before it's too late. For the Arts Overlook, I'm Matt Chapman.
Last episode, we began giving you a virtual tour of the many vibrant pieces of public art in Cedar Falls. Well, we couldn't fit them all into just one segment, so without further ado, here is the second part of our public art tour, guided by Community Main Street's own Jan Anderson.
Well, this piece of artwork is called Epic by Mark Moulton. Mark Moulton was a former member of our Public Art Committee, and a member of the UNI faculty, art department at UNI, but has since moved from our community. But we were so pleased to get this piece. Mark likes to talk about this piece as being a solid community piece. And if you get close enough to it, you can really see it in the limestone, the heavy limestone, and the stainless steel that represents the Cedar River. It's joyful and playful with the waves, and it gives you the strength of community with a strong foundation. And that's really how he describes his piece of artwork. The Public Art Committee is really excited about expanding our collection this coming year and working on some new and exciting projects. We've seen so much development going on out by the Cedar Falls Industrial Park, and we would like to expand some of the artwork and public art into those areas, whether they be in commercial locations or along the highway, something that will greet our visitors and give them a little bit of taste of what our community is all about. This stainless steel piece of artwork is by Julian Christie. Julian's philosophy, and a lot of artists' philosophy, is of course the environment, this wonderful environment. Here, especially at the Hearst Center, fuels your work, their work, and imagination. And certainly this is a piece that does this. She explores home and nature, and the branch symbolizes nature here, and choices and decisions that we make that make it home. So I think this is a really proper setting for a piece of artwork like this, and it's very beautiful here. You know, you may ask me, do people appreciate and look at these pieces of artwork every day of their lives? And I say probably not, but does it define our community? I would say yes, it really does. Artwork and pieces of public art define who we are, what we're all about, and enriches all of our life. It's what we come home to when we travel, and whether we know it or not, we would miss not having these wonderful pieces.
If you would like to check out some of this artwork for yourself, visit HearstArtsCenter.com or call 319-273-8641 to find out more or to schedule your own tour. Well, that's about all we have time for on this episode of the Arts Overlook. We'll leave you with our arts calendar. Thanks for watching.